Here we're going to do 3 problems that have to do with adding and subtracting fractions that have different denominators. When you're adding and subtracting fractions, the first thing you always want to look at is, are the denominators the same or not the same? If they're not the same, like in this case we have a 4 and an 8, we're going to force them to be the same. So we're going to make a common denominator, and we're going to turn these into the least or the smallest common denominator possible, just to keep the math easier. So looking at 4 and 8, I see that I can turn 4 into 8 by doing times 2. And that means we'll have the same denominator, 8 and 8. Now if I do 4 times 2 here, I have to balance out this fraction by doing times 2 in the numerator also. That way what I'm really multiplying by is 2 over 2, which is 1. So I'm not changing the value of my fraction, I'm just changing what it looks like. Instead of 3/4, I have now 6/8. But it's really the same value. If you eat 3/4 of a pizza, that's exactly the same as eating 6/8 of it. And this guy I'm just going to bring down because we already have the same denominator now, 8 and 8. So I'm just going to bring down the plus 1/8. And now that they have the same denominator, we can do adding fractions with a like denominator. So we're going to keep the common denominator and add the numerator, 6 plus 1, and we get 7 over 8. And if there was common factors top to bottom, we would cancel them out, but there aren't any, so that means we're done. In the next one, we're doing subtraction, and same idea. We have different denominators, 8 and 3, so we've got to force them to be the same. Now what you can do is kind of think to yourself, alright, what can I turn 8 and 3 into by multiplying that's going to be the same number? So if I do 8 times 2, it's 16, 8 times 3 is 24. Oh, I can do 3 times 8 to get 24 also. So that means I can use 24 as my least common denominator. So I'm going to do 8 times 3, balance it out on top with 5 times 3, and I'm going to do 3 times 8, balance it out on top with times 8, and that will give us 24. Now just for a second, I want to go off to the side and show you what you can do if you're not sure how to get the LCD. You can use this LCD recipe. It's LCD division recipe, I'll call it. Take your 2 denominators that you started with, 8 and 3, and list them, and then we're going to divide them by prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, and usually you don't have to go very far. So what I'll do is, if 2 works, if it divides one of these numbers, I have to use it, so I'm going to start with 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 3 divided by 2 doesn't work, so I'm just going to bring the 3 down. And then 2 still works for the 4, so I'm going to keep going. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 3 by 2 doesn't work, so I just bring down the 3. And 2 still works because of the 2 here, so I'm still going to be dividing by 2. 2 by 2 is 1. 3 by 2 doesn't work, so we just bring the 3 down. 2 doesn't work anymore for either one of these, so I'm done using the prime number 2, and I'm going to use 3 instead, because 3 works for the second number here. 1 divided by 3 doesn't work, I'm just bringing down the 1. 3 by 3 equals 1. As soon as you get all 1s here, you're done, and your LCD is right here along the left side. We're going to multiply 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which gives us 8 times 3, or 24. Alright, so if the LCD value doesn't really jump out at you, that's one way you can find it. Alright, so let's see, we've got 5/8, and we did times 3 top and bottom, giving us 15 over 24, minus 1/3, and we did times 8 in this case, top and bottom, and that gave us 8 over 24. Now we have subtraction of 2 fractions with a like denominator. So we keep the denominator and subtract the numerators, and that gives us 7 over 24. And let's do one more problem. Here we've got 3 denominators, and let's use that LCD recipe again. So we're going to list the 3 denominators, And if you see right off that the LCD for this problem is going to be 30, then you're all set. Make the 30 happen. But if you're not sure, you start dividing by primes. So remember, we divide by 2, 3, 5, 7, and as far as you have to go. 2 works for 2 of these numbers. We have to use a 2. 10 by 2 is 5. 3 divided by 2 doesn't work, so we bring down the 3. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 will be our next one because 2 doesn't divide any of these. So we're done with the 2. And 3 works, so we have to use it. 5 divided by 3 doesn't work, so we bring down the 5. 3 by 3 is 1. 3 by 3 is 1. 3 doesn't work anymore. 5 works, so we're going to use 5. 5 by 5 is 1. Bring down the other ones, and remember, when you get all ones, you're done. And here's the LCD. LCD is 2 times 3 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So 30 is what we want to force to be our denominator. To turn 10 into 30, we have to do times 3. Top and bottom, remember, because you got to balance out the numerator of the fraction, because we're really multiplying by 1, 3 over 3. To turn 3 into 30, we have to do times 10, top and bottom. And to turn 6 into 30, we're doing times 5, top and bottom again. And that gives us 3 over 30 plus 10 over 30 plus 5 over 30. Now that we have all like denominators, we keep the denominator and go ahead and do whatever the numerators are having done to them, which is, in this case, all addition. 3 plus 10 plus 5. And that gives us 13 plus 5, or 18 over 30. And we're almost done. We just need to cancel out or divide out common factors. And we can either do it all in one fell swoop, divide by 6 top and bottom, or we can just cancel and chip away and say divide by 2. We get 9, divide by 2 here, 15. Keep dividing out. We can divide by 3 now. Divide by 3, we get 3. Divide by 3, we get 5. So our answer is 3/5.